If you tried the 12-week year plan as a creator before, but you burned out, forgot about it, or quit halfway, today I'm going to show you how to actually follow through your content goals without burning out, especially if you're trying to stay consistent but struggling to stick to the plan. Most creators get stuck by doing all the things or setting goals they can't control. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to plan your next 12 weeks as a creator using this system. I'll also show you how to set up your own plan in Google Docs in under 5 minutes so you can get started today. If this is your 14th video on how to plan your 12 weeks, then you know what this book is about. If you're new, here's the too long didn't read version of the 12-week year. The main idea is to stop thinking in 12-month goals and treat every 12 weeks like a full year. In other words, let's not think, oh, I got plenty of time, and then drag it out. You can get more done by thinking 12 weeks, not 12 months. And you do that by setting 1 to 3 achievable goals for a 12-week period, and then reverse engineer it and break it down into weekly actions and deadlines. Then you break it down even more into daily actions. Then you track your progress in a journal or spreadsheet, and at the end of the cycle, you celebrate your wins. In the book, it's all about goals, so the outcome you want to achieve, strategies for how you approach the goal, and tactics, so what you'll do every week and every day. If you're a YouTube creator, you can use the 12-week year for your content planning. Your first thing is to pick a core goal, for example, 6 long-form videos in 12 weeks, and then break it down into weekly and daily actions. So in 2-week sprints, week 1, you brainstorm, script, and record. And then week 2, you edit, publish, and promote your video. You repeat the process for the next videos, and then you track your progress as you go. And then for week 13, you take the time to review, recharge, and then reset, and then plan for your next cycle. During this week, you take the time to learn and improve between rounds and reflect on what worked well and what didn't work well. Plus lessons learned during this cycle and lessons learned about yourself. Like you don't like creating shorts or you don't like creating videos longer than 20 minutes. So you tweak the goals for the next cycle, and then you also figure out what you'll keep, what you'll change, and what you'll drop. And then lastly, don't forget to celebrate your wins and treat yourself to something nice. Now, if you've done all that before, the tracking, scoring, and pushing, but lost motivation, forgot why you're doing any of it, or threw in the towel altogether, you're not the only one. The reason most people quit their 12-week year plans isn't the plan itself, it's because they rely on discipline and guilt to get through it. But there's another way to do this without feeling like you're grinding or in hustle mode 24/7. And it's not planning more or doing more. And that's where feel-good productivity comes in. So you focus on these 3 core ideas: energy, so you do what energizes you and figure out what recharges you; play, so you find ways to make it fun, like gamifying and experimenting; and then meaning. This is when you connect your goals and your actions to your why. Here are some key takeaways for creators or feel-good reminders for your 12-week year plan. The first one is to make it fun and doable. So you turn your goals into games, challenges, or creative play so you actually follow through. You also use NICE goals, and NICE stands for near-term, input-based, control, and energizing. And I'll talk about that in a few minutes. You also focus on what you can do now and not the end result. The next one is know your why. So your goals need a purpose, so use the 5 whys to find your motivation. Then you plan the what and the when. So for example, I will do this task at this time in this location. The next one is to track and adjust. So you use visual trackers like a calendar, journal, checklist, or habit trackers like on Google Sheets or Notion. And then you log your small wins daily and review weekly. And as a side note, you can start the 12-week year plan anytime. It doesn't have to be at the start of a new quarter. The next one is to shift your mindset. So instead of I have to do this, you start by saying I get to do this or I choose to do this. Like I get to create videos for your audience. The next thing is to teach what you learn. So this is the protege effect. So you learn better when you teach. And you do this by sharing takeaways in your videos or your posts. The next thing is to help others and collab to connect. In the book, he talks about how helping others gives you a helper's high and it fuels productivity. Another question to ask comes from this video: who can I help this week and what problem can I solve for them? So you use that as a reminder for every video you create. And also prioritize helping others and not vanity metrics like subscribers or views. He also brought up comrade mindset. So this is where you connect with others to solve problems or to stay accountable. And you do this by body doubling or co-working, which boosts focus and energy. An example of this is from this channel where she does body doubling sessions using the Pomodoro technique. There's also removing and adding friction. So to remove friction, you reduce blockers, so you set a time and location and you have your visual cues and having everything in plain sight. You set up your workspace to support what you're about to do, like keeping your filming gear ready. And then you add inspiration, like mood boards, quotes, or affirmations. If you're interested, look into strength-based affirmations, like from upjourney.com. So to add friction, if you're procrastinating and doom scrolling on social media apps, you can log out of those apps or delete it altogether, especially YouTube Studio, so you're not checking stats every 5 seconds. So you basically making your distractions harder to access. Also say no to anything that's not a hell yes. And this includes video ideas. And lastly, give yourself grace and hobbies. And if you get off track, you can use the write-off method, and that's REIT. The goal is still the same, so if you fall off, you can rest now and then hit reset without guilt. Also schedule breaks where you do nothing, or you can try calm activities. And calm stands for competence, so you feel good doing it. Autonomy, you control it. Liberty, so no pressure. And mellow, so low stakes and non-performative. Some examples of calm activities are drawing, knitting, puzzles, or learning a new language. So the 12-week year is all about structure, but if you notice, it's more business and fitness heavy. But creators can also use 12-week year and add on feel-good productivity to make it work. So you don't have to apply all of these, but at least make it fun, reduce friction and blockers, and track your progress. The most important one, though, is to create NICE goals so you can show up more consistently. So NICE stands for near term, input-based, controllable, and energizing. So the near term is focused on your weekly objectives or sprints. Input-based is set small and achievable goals that'll get you to your next step. And then controllable and energizing. So take actions that energize you. So instead of I will reach 1,000 subscribers in 3 months, a NICE goal would be I would upload 1 video per week for the next 4 weeks, focusing on topics I enjoy and want to be known for. So the near term is the 4-week window. The input base is the creating videos and now focusing on views and subscribers. And then the control is controlling what and when you upload. And then lastly, for energizing, making this process enjoyable and not a grind. So you can choose any tool that fits your vibe, like a planner, Notion, Google Sheets, or a pen and paper. And I'll share some other tools later on. But you can start by creating a simple plan with Google Docs. So here's an example of the 12-week year plan structure in Google Docs. So you have your start and end date, your goals. So for the 12-week year ending with your end date, I will, and then you list your 3 goals. So for YouTubers, this example is publish 6 videos in 2 weeks to grow my channel with better uploads. And then your next thing is strategies. So how you approach this goal. So to publish 6 videos, strategy 1 is to script and record content 1 week in advance, promote each video on Pinterest and Instagram, repurpose each video for the blog and newsletter. And then for the tactics, this is where you list everything you have to do to complete this goal. And that's for every week and every day. One tactic will be choose 6 topics based on search and analytics. And then you add your due dates and then your status. So not started, in progress, or complete. Once you complete this task, you change it to complete and then move on to the next one. This can be, for your due dates, this can be exact date, bi-weekly, weekly, daily, monthly, or you can say week 1 all the way through week 12. So to create a table like this, you will use the building blocks, but the first thing you need to do is go under File, Page Setup, and make sure this is pageless and not pages. So make sure this is selected and then press OK. And I'll show you why you should set it up like that in a second. So for the building blocks, you go to Insert and then Building Blocks. And then you would choose the simple decision log, but you can also choose from one of these, like meeting notes, email draft. Under project management is a review tracker, project assignments, or content launcher. But for now, under meetings, select simple decision log, and then you will add your goal here. Change topic to tactic, and then change decision to due date. You right click here to delete the column. And then for status, you'll click here to edit the options. So you can keep not started, in progress, delete blocked, and change approved to complete. And then click save and apply to all. So applying to all means the rest of the rows. So you right click here and then go under table options to make any changes you want to make, like the table border. or the cell colors. You can also change the size of the columns and align it to the left or the center. Now, once you're done with that, you can add rows by right-clicking the row and insert row below. And to repeat this, an easier way to do this is to press Control and Y button to create more rows. You can do the same thing with the columns. Insert column on the right to create more columns. So you would copy this full table and paste it twice to add in your 2 other goals. And then add in your goals, your tactics, and your dates. And for each tactic, choose a status. Now, if YouTube is your main goal, you can also create a tab here by clicking this plus button here. And then add your content launch tracker. And once again, it's insert, building blocks, and then under view more. For project management, you select content launch tracker. So you can keep track of all the videos you want to publish. You can add rows and columns the same way by right-clicking and then insert row above, below, or insert column left or right. You can also pin the header to this top row. For example, when you scroll down here, this is pinned. So the row sticks to the top while you scroll down. So since you changed this page setup to page list, you can collapse any heading that's on this page. For example, goals and strategies. Some things you can add to your planner is you can insert another column and use that for the stage. You right-click this column and set the column type to drop down, and then stage, and click this cell to insert a smart chip. So this will be a date, file, or a place, or a drop down. And you create a new drop down. So if you watch my videos before, I use the prep workflow. So this could be plan, record, edit, and publish and promote. You can also change the colors. And then hit save. And you're good to go. You can also add sections for affirmations, mantras or quotes, or any of the reminders from Feel Good Productivity. If you want to use other tools for your 12-week year plan, there's the Panda Planner. I'm using the Rocketbook Panda Planner, and it's a built-in 12-week format. And then there's Notion that has it all set up for you. And if you prefer pen and paper, this video from Amy Landino shows you how to set yours up. So it's the same process with the 12-week goals listed here. And then for goal number 1, with your tactics and your due dates. You can do the same thing on Google Sheets, but you can also add a tracker. And this is how I set up my planner. This is still a work in progress, but so far I have the category, daily habit, progress, the target. So the goal for the week, for example, is work out 3 times a week. So the target will be 3. And for achieve column, this is where I check off the day of the week. And then when I hit 3, this changes from keep going to goal met. I also have a weekly habit. So this is for tracking YouTube videos. So my target is posting 1 piece of content every week. So it could be a short video or community post. And I check it off here. And the same thing for the progress from keep going to goal met. I also have a YouTube planner, and this is the updated version from my old video, how to create one on Google Sheets. Since Google Sheets has been updated, there's an easier way to do this. So I have my status here, which is in progress, ideas not started, paused or published, and then the video title, the type, so educational, entertaining, inspirational, or conversion. And then the file, this here is the copy of my template in Google Docs. So I click it to copy the template and then change the title to the video number and the title. and then I connect it to whichever video it's related to, and then film date, and then post date. And then once that's done, I add the video URL and where I'm going to promote it, plus notes like thumbnails I'm thinking of using. If you're interested in creating one of these, let me know in the comments if you want a full walkthrough of this version. One more thing is, if you're thinking that this is all great, but I don't even know what goals I need to set, in the Notes tab, you'll find a prompt that you can use for ChatGPT or Gemini, and then you fill in everything here and how you want it set up, so the output, and then you copy and paste it into ChatGPT to come up with your own plan. And if you want to skip all of this, you can use the example below the prompt and make your changes from here. So it's laid out with weekly focus, the video plan, the strategies and tactics, and your notes on the side. This is optional, but you can use a daily tracker below it. And using the feel-good productivity principles, you can add why this goal matters, potential blockers, and how to fix them. There's a creative time investment list, and this is from the book. And there's affirmations at the bottom. So you can, like I said, you can use the prompt to generate a plan for you, or you can just tweak this one here. To get your copy, there's a link in the comments. And once you click the link, you can click here to copy and start making changes from there. Now, if you want to know how to script faster, simplify your content creation process, or batch videos, you can watch this playlist here to help you get started. And you can check back for the next video where I show you how to come up with content ideas so you never run out of things to say.